All right, section 810, we're going to get into graphing inequalities, right? Linear inequalities. So we're going to graph the lines just like we did before, but now we're going to have some shading involved, right? And let me just give you a reminder of what we had before. We had like x is greater than 8. And so on my number line, right, like if this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and there's 8, right? Since it was a greater than, we used an open circle, and greater than would be to the right. So we would shade everything or solid line this and everything to the right. So that was in a single variable. Today we're going to look at graphing in two variables, just like we've graphed before, but we're going to have some key concepts. So just like we used an open circle with a greater than, and we would have done the same with the less than, we're going to use a dotted line when graphing equations that have greater than or less than. And we're going to use a solid line when graphing greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. The dotted line represents that the solutions don't include the points on the line. Similarly to this, since it's an open circle, 8 is not a solution. It's not greater than, right? However, if it were darkened in or equal to, 8 would be a solution. And that's what we get when we use a solid line when graphing. All right, and I'll show you some examples of that. So we're going to look at two ways. We're going to graph these by hand because it's just a sketch, but we're also going to look at Desmos to check our work. So the first thing we want to do is I want to graph this just like if it were this. This is y equals, right? Slope-intercept form. So I'm going to start at +2, and that's going to be my first point. Then my slope tells me to go up 2 and over 1. There's my second point. So now I can graph, but I got to be careful because I have to determine what type of line. Since it's strictly greater than, I'm going to use a dotted line or dashed line. So that means none of the points on here are solutions. So the next thing I want to do is shade. This is saying y is greater than this line. So if I shade that, so if I go to my line and I'm going to shade everything above it. All right, so that would be my graph for y is greater than 2x plus 2. It's all these points up here. So for example, um, this point right here, right, looks like it's at -4 for x, 1, 2, 3, +4 for y. Since it's in the shaded region, this would be a solution to this inequality. And what that means is that it creates a true statement. So if I plug a 4 in for y, I'm first going to erase this out of here. So I want to know, is -4 a solution to that? So what I can do is I can plug 4 in for y, right, this value, and ask myself, is that greater than 2 times x, which is -4, plus 2? So 2 times -4 is -8 plus 2. So it's asking, is 4 greater than -6? The answer is yes. Then this is a solution to that inequality. All right. So we do have to be able to graph these by hand. So again, here, my intercept, -1. My slope tells me to go up 1 and over 2. This symbol tells me to use a dashed line. And then I need to shade. So this says y is less than 1/2 x minus 1. So y is less than, that's below the line. All right, so I go to my line and I just shade down. So all of these points in the shaded region are included in the solution set. And one more, start at positive 4 with a slope of negative 1/3, so down 1 over 3, right? Or I could go up 1 and back 3. Now, this is or equal to, so that tells me to use a solid line when drawing. And I want to shade y is greater than. So if I go to the line, greater than is up. So that would be my shaded region there. So if you go to decimals, let's just graph this last one. Y is greater than or equal to negative 1/3 x plus 4. So if I go here, I can go y. Let me hide that down there. I got to get to my keyboard here. So I need my greater than or equal to, which is right here. So y is greater than or equal to, I forgot what the equation is now, 1/3, negative 1/3 x, third. You can see it shading it in as I go 1/3 x plus 4. So you can see there's my graph, and then it's shaded above that line. All right. I just want to show you a dotted line and what that looks like. Y is less than 1/2 x minus 1. So I could type in y, take this off real quick. Y is less than 1/2 x plus 1. Make sure that was the right line. Sorry, 1/2 x minus 1. So we can see here that I have this dotted line and it's shaded below that, right? So if you look here, it was at 1, sorry, negative 1, and then it goes up 1 over 2, just like we graphed it, and then it's shaded below. So you can use that as a way to check your solution, but you should be able to graph by hand as well. So let's look at a few more examples and then we'll let you practice on your own. Y is greater than 2, right? Remember, this is just like y 0x plus 2, right? So this is going to be a flat line. I go up to 2, right? There's also 2. It's going to be a dotted. Oh, that's not dotting. So a dotted line is saying y is greater than. So if I go to the line, I need to shade up. Now this one, y less than negative x, right? So really that's like plus 0. So that's going to cross here. My slope is negative 1. So I'm going to go down 1 and over 1. It's not or equal to, so it's going to be another dotted line. I have to decide where to shade. This says y is less than. So if I go to the line, shade down. So it's going to be this region here. All right, and last one here. Start at positive 4. That's really a 1x, right, or a 1 over 1x. So I can go up 1 over 1. Right, I can go down 1, back 1. That'll give me the same line. Since it's or equal to, it's going to be solid. Then my shading, this is saying y is less than or equal to. So I go to my line, anywhere on the line, and less than is down. Right, so any point, right, if I wanted to said, what is the solution to this? I can pick any point in here, right? I'll pick that point, 2, 0. And I can check that, remember, I can say when y is 0, is that less than or equal to 2 plus 4? 0 less than or equal to 6. Yep, so you can see that that's the correct side to be shaded. All right, your assignment. Try the following problems. Starting page 421, you can do 13 to 21. And then number 38 is a review from earlier in chapter 8. All right, if you have questions, let me know. Look forward to hearing from you, and we'll talk to you soon.